recent years, the venison heart has hands down become my favorite piece of wild game as far as the whitetail deer goes. More so than the backstrap, the tenderloin, you name it. I'm taking the venison heart 10 out of 10 times. It's super unique in its flavor, its texture, its consistency. And I think for that reason, it makes it a little bit of an intimidating cut of meat for a lot of sportsmen to try. I tackled it in a lot of different ways, and this is by far my favorite preparation for it. So this is something I picked up in the Philippines when I was studying tropical ecology there. There was this street dish called Sisig that was essentially it was different cuts of pork that was kind of cut up small, grilled. It was greasy and salty, and it was stir-fried with onions, and it was just like this awesome street food that me and all my classmates just loved it while we were there. Anthony Bourdain was known to talk about it from time to time. He says pretty much the ultimate like beer food, which is true. It is good with a beer. But all I'm gonna say is that this is inspired by that dish. It is definitely not that dish. So, what you're gonna need. I've got a prepared venison heart here. Now, as far as that goes, all I did with this is I brined it in salt water for about 2 days. The salt water brine will pump a lot of that blood out of the heart, brined it whole. I didn't cut it up, just submerge the whole heart in salt water, heavy salt, and just let that brine do its thing, push all that blood out. After a couple days, take it out. What I did here is I just cut along the seams. You can see where all the musculature is tied together. Just cut along that. It'll unfold in 2 pieces. You'll see the inside has some like fibrous, stringy material, the heartstrings, if you will. Cut those right out, and then trim off some of the arteries and valving at the top, and you're left with these 2 beautiful cuts of meat. I've done it a bunch of different ways. I've sliced right from the tip all the way to the top of it, and you're left with round pieces. You can't really mess it up. The meat is there. Cut it up how you want to. So, aside from that, all you're gonna need is white vinegar, butter, peanut oil. I like to fry in peanut oil. Whatever you prefer to fry in, go for it. Minced garlic, jalapeno peppers, white onion, lemon, chili pepper, kimchi, sriracha, bacon, salt, and pepper. That's it. For this presentation, I'm gonna serve it with rice. So however you do rice, you go ahead. I'm not gonna get into how to cook rice. There's a million different ways. And I'm probably gonna cheat and make 90-second rice. So let's get into this. So I'm just gonna slice up these jalapenos. I leave the seeds in because I'm not a wimp. You can cut up more, less, whatever you want. I'm gonna go with the onion. I like to cut it up nice and thin. There we go. Also gonna chop up some bacon. We're good on our vegetables. Always cut your vegetables first, protein after. If you've got 2 cutting boards, I suggest you do that. So all we're doing, dicing up some bacon like that here, and just about ready to go. So here I've got my venison heart. Like I said, it's sliced up. You can see how it was 2 pieces. If you look at this, that was the bottom there, and there was the very tip of it, and you can kind of see how these went together here, wrapped around like so, and you can kind of see how that was 1 piece. It just kind of comes apart in 2 like that. So there you go. All I'm gonna do with this black pepper. A little bit of salt. Once your pan is nice and hot. Oh, hello. I'm still Mark Missouri, and this is still how to make venison heart sisig. But I underestimated how loud the sizzling would be in a dish that's notorious for sizzling, mind you. So the audio was garbage. My flawless narration ruined, so I'm forced to re-narrate it this way. So bear with me. We'll get through this. Super simple thing to do here. And we're off. What you're going to do is you're going to brown up your bacon in a pan, in the cast iron pan. And I say brown because I don't want the bacon to get crispy here. That's not what you're looking for. You want to par cook this bacon because it's going to be cooked again at the end. So get it almost where you want it, then remove it from the pan. So once you remove that, you're going to add your onions and peppers into the pan. Same pan, right in. And same thing goes for the onions and peppers. You're going to fry them until the onions start to become translucent. At that point, when they're just starting to turn, you're going to throw in, I think I used a half a tablespoon of minced garlic. Throw that in there. Your timing there is going to be pretty important because you don't want to fry that garlic till it burns. So when the onions and peppers are almost fried to your liking, throw that garlic in there. Just let that saute and kind of melt together with the onions and peppers. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to remove all that from the pan. You can put it in the same container as the bacon. And now you're going to get ready to actually fry your heart. You're going to fry your heart. So here's what I did. I took those 2 slabs of salt and peppered heart and I fried them solid like that. You can do this several different ways. Like I said, this is a creative process. Do what works best for you. But here's what I did. I fried it. I seared it because you're going to want your pan really hot. So turn your heat up. Sear those 2 pieces. One's going to cook a little bit quicker than the other. Are you kidding me? So unprofessional. Well, sorry about that. If you listen to the podcast, you'll know that happens quite a bit. Anyway, you're going to turn your heat up. You're going to sear your 2 pieces of heart. And when I say sear, you just want to get that nice crusty brown on the outside of them. The reason that I did it this way is because I like to cook it so I could get it to medium. This is all a temperature game here. It's going to take some time. For this dish, I like to cook it a little bit more. I like it a little bit more done, so medium well almost. So I'm going to sear that. I'm going to get a good sear on that. Then what I did is I removed it from the heat. I sliced it up on a cutting board into more manageable pieces, and then I threw it back into the pan. That way I got my sear, and the meat's going to cook at it's not even a more uniform temperature. I just know that it's almost where I need it to be. It's almost like cheating to get your temperature. But what I want here is I want it to be like sisig, so I want smaller pieces. You could leave it whole if you want. I mean, it's up to you. The world's your oyster. So after you reintroduce that meat to the pan that's nice and cut up, then you're going to throw in your onions and peppers again. So now you've got everything cut up, your onions, peppers, bacon, all of that is starting to meld together in that pan. And by cutting it up, you're also going to introduce some of the juice of the heart. Some of that the blood pretty much is going to permeate that dish. Then you're going to add your chopped up kimchi right towards the end, because that vinegar is really going to give it that kind of signature sisig style. Because in real sisig, the meat is kind of marinated in vinegar. I didn't want to do that with heart because I think that it might kind of ceviche it, cook it a little bit. So I like kimchi, so I introduced the vinegar through kimchi, which is just fermented cabbage, pretty much, kind of like Asian fermented cabbage. It's spicy. You can get it in a version that isn't spicy, if spice isn't really your thing, but I like to use the spicy one. So there you have it, Pennsylvania Filipino fusion quasi sisig. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm just gonna try this. Let's see how this goes. There's so much flavor going on there. It's savory. The heart is very savory, salty. There's crispiness to the bacon. The peppers are nice and rounded out. It's kind of got that texture, that greasy. The rice is awesome with the vinegar on it. Yeah, let me know. Just hang on a minute. Yes. Oh, it's times like this that I'm thankful my wife doesn't eat venison heart just yet. Man, it's spicy, delicious, and the perfect thing to pair with that. It's a nice double IPA, a little citrusy, balances everything out. That's good. Anyway, that's it. You should not be intimidated to try venison heart, especially if you make it like this. You're going to be saving every heart, asking everyone you know to save you heart, because that's where it's at. That is so good. Let me just have there. Yes. How could you not want to try that? It's so good. Anyway, try things, be creative. You could add the sriracha, the lemon if you want to this. It's gonna make it a little bit more spicy. It's pretty spicy the way it is. I didn't add that sriracha. I'm kind of glad, because this does have a little bit of a kick. Like I said, if you're not into spicy foods, tone back the spiciness with green pepper instead of a jalapeno. Leave the chilies out. Make it your own. My name is Mark Missouri. I have a channel, social media presence called Sons of the Hunt, and I hope you follow along. Thanks for watching.